Hey folks, just driving on my way to run a few errands and just going to put out a couple of thoughts that I've been having lately. And I want to talk about balance in getting involved with the Sasquatch phenomenon. You know, I have seen over the last 30 years plus people that get so absorbed and so obsessed with this deep rabbit hole that we all love to be around, and I've seen it become a detrimental part of their lives. I personally know people that have abandoned every other aspect of their life, families, careers, to chase down this whole thing, and that's a cautionary tale, I get it, and I totally get it, because I can remember when I first really started diving into this after my first encounter, and I just became absolutely obsessed with a need to know. And let's face it, when you start looking into this topic and start wandering down the rabbit hole, it starts to ask a lot of other questions, and not all of it engaged with the Sasquatch stuff. You start looking at alternative historical narratives and alternative archaeological narratives, and it's endless. It's an endless rabbit hole. It really is. I don't think that there are too many of us, myself included, that ever felt like they've had a lot of answers provided. And whether it's deep research and looking into biblical texts and other types of texts, Dead Sea Scrolls and the Sumerian tablets, or whatever that looks like. I have found that, and I know that the rest of the Arizona Four also maintains a balance with this. When we're engaged in it, we're 100% doing what we're doing. But all of us maintain healthy relationships as partners and as parents. Only one of us is still not retired, and he maintains a great job and a great position, and it's fulfilling. I do other things too. I'm personally, I'm really engaged in the recovery community, and it's actually where I'm headed right now. I'm on my way to a 12-step meeting where I still attend 3 or 4 times a week for a long time, because it fulfills me and it provides some of that balance. I think that like I'm taking off for Mexico with my wife and another couple friend of ours next Thursday to spend some time at the beach and to do some coupley stuff, which I love to do. I know that it's always been important that my spouse was always very understanding of this, and then she's seen enough kind of crazy stuff over time with me that she gets it, but she's not obsessed with it. Am I still obsessed with it? I'm not sure. It'll always be a part of my life. Some of that was not my choosing, and the fact that I've leaned into it for a long time, and I've been down that road. I've been down that road where it became this all-consuming adventure, and I just feel so blessed that I had the right people in my life, and I had some perspective, and I had some balance, and I had the lessons that I learned from people that came before me in this to know that balance was required, because I don't want to ever have this thing bring pain or make it cause issues in other areas of my life. So I'm very aware of that, and I don't let it. That being said, I'm still just as enthusiastic about the whole thing as I've ever been. I think us collectively getting really public for the first time, that's a new chapter for anybody who knows me knows that I was very reticent and against having a YouTube channel and engaging in some of this stuff publicly, because I didn't know if it was the right path. But I think I've kind of come around to that. It's not like I didn't participate on other platforms on occasion. I've always been blessed enough that I have a lot of connections and opportunities. If I ever wanted to get my voice out there, that I could do it. So I'm grateful for that. I have a lot of I'm friends with the people that have very successful online platforms, and I've been welcome on there whenever I've wanted to, which is that's nice. Not everybody has that. So anyway, I don't know really where I was going with this. There's just some thoughts I was having this morning, and I thought I'd share them with you. I believe we're heading out to the recently reopened Squatch Camp next week for a day or two. And then, like I said, for me, it's off to Puerto Penasco in Mexico, and 5 days eating tacos and sitting on the beach, man. Sounds like a pretty good way to spend the rest of the week. Anyway, I hope you guys all have a great day, and keep your eyes peeled for more stuff as we keep trying to get this thing moving in the right direction. Talk to you soon.